Before I was Boring Guy DIY, I picked up this old contractor model SawStop table saw. It was free, so I couldn't say no to it. It was in pretty beat up shape. It was sitting in a warehouse for I think 5 to 7 years or so. It actually belonged to an old school and they were just throwing it out because they couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. So of course, me being Boring Guy DIY, I can't resist a free tool. I grabbed my buddy's trailer, we brought the thing home, and I started kind of digging into it. Luckily I found out the only real issue was the cartridge was just not plugged in. So I think they thought it was a broken saw. Being a school with, a budget, I'm sure they just decided it was easier to buy a new one. And she just sat in a warehouse for 5 to 7 years, rusting and basically getting destroyed. So I did a little bit of the restoration off camera. This was before I started this whole YouTube thing. But I'm going to show you guys the majority of the steps that I took and how I got this old saw back to working condition. And again, the only things I really did off camera was paint the side tables and paint the rails in the background. I did that last summer when we had good weather. As you can tell now, it's cold and miserable out, so I'm glad I did get that done. But yeah, I'll walk you through the process. And hey, what's up, bud?
Hi.
Oh, I found a blue guy off camera. You want to help me out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got this old saw here, and I'm gonna need a hand or two putting it together. Because look at me. Do I look like somebody that can fix a table saw by myself?
No.
Okay, so yeah, I found this blue dude off the street. No idea who he is, but he seems like a good dude. Nice to meet you. I'm Boring Guy DIY.
Hi.
We'll call you Bob. That sound good, Bob? Okay, so me and Bob, we're gonna go through all the steps and how I got this baby back into shape, and hopefully we can use it for some future videos. Boring Guy DIY, and Bob with no eyes. Kinda like it. ASMR. 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 Nah, I'm just kidding, guys. I absolutely hate those videos. Sorry if you like them. I don't. But now you can just watch me basically scrape this whole table. I'll fast forward so you don't have to, spend an hour here watching me. But you get the idea. Scrape, 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 scrape a little more, scrape, scrape, scrape. So, after scraping, it actually looks pretty darn good. From a functional standpoint, it's nice and smooth. All those little dust nibs are gone and those rust nibs are removed. You can honestly just spray this with WD-40 or some of that dry lube and call it a day. I'm gonna take it a step further. I want it a little bit cleaner than this. I think actually this was stored in a warehouse with a bunch of bird poop and stuff, so there's a lot of etch marks that I'm probably not gonna be able to remove, but at least I'll do my best to get most of this removed. So my plan is, WD-40 as a lubricant, we're gonna take a Scotch-Brite pad and go to town. And hopefully that will spiff things up even more, and then we'll call it a day. Again, tabletops don't have to be perfect. I know a lot of these guys in videos, they get them to a mirror shine. That's awesome. I commend those guys for that hard work, but it's a tool. After all, we're gonna scratch it again. Let's just get it 80% of the way it was. That's good enough for me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna hit it with a bunch of WD-40. Don't spray this on the floor and then break your neck when you fall. Quick disclaimer. WD-40 also, while it's not a rust remover, it'll help loosen up some of the light rust. So kind of a, two-part solution here. Lubrication, some rust removal ability. Then we're just gonna take a Scotch-Brite pad and go to town. Now I'm going to hit it with some 1200 grit sandpaper. This should really smooth things out. I don't think you have to do this, but it's just going to make me feel better. Okay, me and Bob, actually you want your Fred, right? Is that your name, Fred? Okay, me and Fred are gonna get these side tables mounted up real quick. Thank God I have Fred's help, because this would have been impossible without it. Hey Fred,
Yeah.
did you ever meet my son?
No.
He's like probably about your size, actually, believe it or not. Like, kind of sounds like you too.
Oh.
But you know what the problem with him is? He stinks. He really smells.
Oh, I don't smell.
Yeah, I know, you smell much better. That's why I don't have him help me, because you came off the street. I thought you were going to smell terrible, but you came in, you actually smell pretty good, so my shop doesn't get all stunk up like when my son comes in here, so works out great. I appreciate the help, Fred. And would you like to stay for dinner tonight?
Yeah.
We do like this like chicken casserole bake type thing. I don't know, but it's gonna be pretty good. So yeah. Right here. So now that we pretty much took care of the table saw top, so the cast iron's nice and clean, all the parts are painted, it's time for me to turn my attention to this extension table here. So the extension table that SawStop provides is made out of wood, so it's just MDF laminated. You can see the back here, just some pine it looks like and some laminated plywood. But as you can see, because this thing was in a warehouse for like 5 to 7 years, it was probably a pretty humid environment, I would imagine. Most of the laminate delaminated, came right off. So I had to pull it off, I scraped it, and what I'll do now is, I'm gonna prep this top, I'll give it a good sanding. It's pretty smooth, looks like it's in pretty good shape. I don't see any water damage anywhere, so we got that going for us. But because I got this saw for free, I really didn't want to put a bunch of money into it. So, you know, a full laminate sheet can go anywhere from like $60 to $100, and I only need a little piece. So I'm gonna try something new here that I've never tried before. I know it's been done, but I personally have never done it. So I found this really thin piece of sheet metal. Now it is galvanized, so it won't rust. I have no idea how that's gonna glue. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I figured for like 15 bucks, the worst case is I have a pretty cool looking side table that hopefully will work. So let's see how it goes. Let's get to it. Okay, so I gave it about 15 minutes. It seems pretty tacky now and dry. So contact cement, you want to let it dry at least 15 minutes to like half an hour, so that way you get a nice tacky surface. When both of those surfaces come in contact, both covered with contact cement, they'll permanently stick. So when you do this, make sure you get it right on the first time. It's never coming up. Or it's gonna come up, but you're gonna break everything in the process. Now, you kitchen countertop guys are probably cringing right now. I mean, you can probably tell most of this isn't fully tacked up yet, but I'm just gonna give it a shot. It's like 30 degrees out right now. I don't think it's gonna dry any better, and it's a free table saw. So rip me apart in the comments. We'll see what happens. So I got both sheets here. I'm gonna do my best to apply this as accurately as possible, which is not going to be possible because this is hard to do. So yeah, we'll let that dry for a day or two. I have no idea how long contact cement takes to dry. So I don't know, day or two sounds good to me. Okay, so now that the top is dried, the contact cement is definitely dried up now. It looks like it's nice and cured. Now it's time to figure out how to trim this metal off the edges. So I kind of bounced around a few ideas. I could use an X-Acto knife, a pair of tin snips, maybe even an old blade on a table saw to try to, trim up the edges, make them nice and true so we don't have these overhung edges here. But I think all of those are going to end up in a mess. They're not going to get a clean cut. I don't think it's really going to work out that great. So I'm going to try a flush cut bit and a router. The same bits that they use for laminate on countertops. Now, my thinking here is that this is pretty thin metal, and I'm hoping that I can go through it without much issue. I've done this with aluminum before with no issue, but I've never done it with galvanized steel. So we'll see what happens. It's either gonna work or it's gonna chew the crap out of this and ruin the edge. So, I don't know, let's find out. Now, I am wearing a welding helmet because I don't have a face shield. I'd rather not have, chunks of metal in my neck. So, let's see how this goes. Holy moly, that actually worked fantastic. Man, I am so happy with that. Wow. Check this out. That worked absolutely perfectly. I cannot believe that. I knew in theory it would work, but I just expected the edges to get kind of pulled out and wrinkled, especially since it's such a thin metal. But I guess with a sharp carbide bit, I guess it worked great. Yeah! So finally, we have the whole saw set up here. It's just in a rough setup mode. Everything's just kind of loosely put together. The side table actually came out pretty decent. It was something that I didn't think would work that great, but overall, it does scratch up pretty easily because it's that thin sheet galvanized steel. But overall, I'm not too worried about that. It's a tool. It's going to get scratched up. I wanted to save money. Again, this is a free saw. I think mild steel or maybe like an aluminum sheet would have been a better option, but we'll see how it works. Worst case, I rip it off, put something else on in the future. Does its job for now. So really what I have left here is I'm going to put that rail back on, so the fence rail, and then I'm just going to do a bunch of adjustments. So those will take a while. I don't really want to bore you guys with that. There's tons of great videos on YouTube, and SawStop provides also amazing videos on how to set up their particular saws. So that'll take a couple hours. I'll do that off camera, and then hopefully I can show you guys the finished look once I clean everything up here, get everything looking sparkly, and we can take a look at the finished product. I hope you guys enjoyed this SawStop restoration project. And remember, this is nothing that you can't do. All it takes is a little elbow grease, a little online research, and you can have a great saw like this. And again, it doesn't have to be a SawStop. You can pick up a great old used tool off Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace and do the same thing that I did and have a saw that will serve you for years and years. So remember, elbow grease, research, you can get it done just like me. Boring Guy, DIY.